$70 billion. That's how much Microsoft paid to acquire Activision. Yes, this news has just broken out today, and what we're going to talk about is how it affects zombies. Move aside Overwatch, move aside COD multiplayer. We don't care about that. We're here to talk about zombies here on this channel, and this is actually the biggest news genuinely that we've had in pretty much the entire existence of this franchise. So buckle up. There's going to be a lot of speculation in this video, a lot of kind of theories on what can happen, because pretty much anything can at this point. But I'm also going to talk about why I think these things might happen. Now, for those who come to my streams, you guys ask me a lot of questions. You guys ask me kind of, you know, do you ever think Custom Zombies will come to console? Do you ever think Zombie Chronicles 2 is actually going to come out? Do you ever think there'll be a standalone zombies game? Well, I, alongside pretty much most of this community, have said the exact same thing, and that is Activision would just never greenlight it. They give the developers barely any time. They're always under such enormous pressure and time constraints that simply the amount of time required to deliver the things that we truly want as zombies fans simply isn't being given to the developers to actually make it happen. But that is now all very, very likely to change. Now, the deal is still being processed, and before it's finalized, Activision and Microsoft will continue to work as separate entities. But when it is finalized, that will of course mean that all of the developers under Activision's wing, which of course includes all of the developers for Call of Duty, more importantly for this video Treyarch, they will all now flock under Microsoft's umbrella, which gives Microsoft the power to do pretty much whatever the hell they want to do with this franchise. They own it. So now, the title of this video, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How does this affect zombies? How could this affect zombies? Will this be a substantial shift for the mode, or will it barely make any difference whatsoever? Well, in my opinion, this is going to be an absolute win for zombies, and here's why. Despite being a PlayStation boy myself, I do respect the fact that Xbox is very aware of the hardcore fan base in certain games. What I mean by that is, of course, they know how big and popular Halo was and how many hardcore, dedicated fans that franchise has, and they lean into that consistently. They also reflect that with their support for backwards compatibility with previous games for people who really enjoy playing the classics as well. And even if that's not enough, they go ahead and remaster stuff, bringing things like the Master Chief Collection and so on. My point is, when they see a hardcore, dedicated fan base, they really like to please them. And looking directly at Call of Duty Zombies and the fan base that we have, we are a very large and very vocal group of dedicated fans. Of course, we have our differences, we have our divisions, you know. Outbreak, for example, split the community directly in two between lovers and haters of the mode. I mean, you got people who deadass actually like Die Rise. I mean, you know, we have a lot of different opinions in this community. But despite all of that stuff, despite the difference of opinions and different preferences, we all consistently come back to this series of zombies games, to the point where you can still very easily find people live streaming World at War, which is from 2008, and even in some cases breaking world record runs on it. We are an incredibly dedicated, hardcore fan base, and Xbox will know that. But one thing I'm sure this entire community can in unison all agree with is that Activision was severely holding back Call of Duty as a franchise, and thus Call of Duty Zombies as a mode. It's no secret Activision is the reason why zombies has gone so far downhill, and the only real way out of this hole was to get Activision out of the picture, which none of us thought was even realistic until now. It is literally happening. So now that Microsoft Gaming will be calling the shots for the future of zombies, let's turn our heads to their CEO, someone who, unlike Bobby, is actually probably a decent freaking human being, so that's already a win. We are of course talking about Phil Spencer. Now, I don't really want to get too wrapped up in this because I don't want to kind of stray too far from the main point of this video, but just bear with me here because this is going to set up the points that I believe carry the future of zombies. Back when the Xbox One was first revealed, you guys may remember the stupid amount of policies that they slammed onto the console, which subsequently made gamers just flock to PlayStation. The Xbox One also had to ship with Kinect at the time, which basically made the price tag $100 more than the PS4. And so what happened, in short, was Xbox completely failed the entire console war of that entire generation with one swift motion at one conference before the console even came out. Now, when Phil Spencer was appointed CEO of Microsoft Gaming not long after that, one of the first things he did was strip away that Kinect camera, brought the cost immediately down for the Xbox One, and stripped away all of those policies that made the Xbox fans turn their heads and move to PlayStation. So the point I'm making here is Phil Spencer spotted the BS, heard the community, and dealt with the problem. In the case of Call of Duty, the BS is that the game's launch completely unfinished. The community is up in arms about the future of the entire game and franchise before today, and so I like to think that Phil Spencer is going to deal with it. Having someone like that call the shots for Call of Duty is something that we have needed for the longest time. So, armed with these points that Phil Spencer, the CEO of Microsoft Gaming, actually has a brain, listens to the community, takes action when it is necessary, the fact that Xbox actually has a positive reputation with how they treat their studios, and the fact that Xbox also pays attention to the hardcore fan bases in dedicated games, we can now start to build some decent arguments and speculation here. So, let's quickly get the facts out of the way. It's been confirmed, obviously, that when this deal has gone through, Activision Blizzard's business will report directly to Phil Spencer, so he does really call the shots here. Secondly, it was also mentioned that they plan to continue supporting the communities of other platforms. So that at least rules out anyone who is kind of scared that PlayStation won't even get Call of Duty in the future and that it will be Xbox exclusive. But anyway, enough with the facts. Let's talk now about the future of zombies. Let's speculate. Let's get into it. First things first, if you want my opinion, Call of Duty is going to get more development time. The reason I say this is because now with Xbox's name being slapped on the Call of Duty franchise, I don't think they want to tarnish the Xbox name by dropping games that are simply unfinished and pretty much unplayable. I feel like that's a no-brainer. So even if they stick with the current structure of Call of Duty, in which there's a zombies mode, a campaign, and a multiplayer, even with that in mind, zombies will still be able to finally get some more love and actually launch in a state where we actually get some round-based maps, and who knows, maybe even a pause function. So that to me is already a win. But let's turn our attention to the bigger, more ambitious kind of ideas. Like I said near the start of the video, Xbox is a company that really pays attention to the hardcore dedicated fan bases, and we really do fall under that category of people. I feel like this opens the doors for Zombie Chronicles 2, especially considering that they know how well Zombie Chronicles 1 sold, and who knows, maybe a collection of remasters, maybe even the long-awaited dream every Zombies fan has had at some point, where we get a standalone Zombies game. The thing is that we used to talk about it and we used to just all say it is not possible because of Activision. With them finally out of the picture, this might be the first time where we can raise hopes for that to actually happen, especially if Xbox goes ahead and gives development studios like Treyarch more breathing room and more time to perfect their craft, because they are tremendously talented. Who knows, maybe Call of Duty will be divided into separate games. You have Warzone, you have the Zombies experience, and then you have the classic MP feel. I mean, for all we know, Microsoft might even make the effort to try and make mods available on Xbox for Call of Duty games, which would be wild for the case of Custom Zombies and things like that. I mean, I'd argue that Xbox mod support for Call of Duty is still very unlikely, but my point is it is not impossible. But one thing is absolutely clear. We as a community can all agree that Zombies was on an aggressive downward slope. And with Vanguard being the least successful Call of Duty launch in 14 years, it's clear that the franchise itself is down bad and dying. With the way things were going, hopes were really low, and I don't think really many people believed that Zombies would ever make a comeback. And I feel like a large majority of us actually thought that Zombies would continue on this downward slope. So whether or not you feel optimistic about this news, the one thing I feel we can all agree on is that something big needed to change in order for the future of Zombies to start getting some light again. I mean, a monumental change was needed to actually breathe life back into Zombies, if you want my opinion. And Activision being acquired in its entirety by Xbox is pretty much as monumental a change as you could expect. And so I like to hope this is going to make a positive shift for the Zombies mode. I like to hope that it's going to extend beyond just being a Game Pass kind of thing. But most of all, I think if there's ever a time to expect a rapid shift in the mode for the better, it's right now. Well, by right now, I mean when they actually finish acquiring it. If nothing changes for Zombies after Xbox acquires Activision, then we are in some serious trouble. But if you want a random prediction from me just to wrap up this video, lads, ladies and gentlemen, I think what will happen is this. I think they will drop Zombies Chronicles 2 to see how well that DLC sells. And if it sells well, I believe that Microsoft might just respond with a Call of Duty Zombies standalone title. It is just speculation. I'm not claiming to be a leaker. I'm not saying this is going to happen. But if you want my call outs and if you want what I genuinely believe might be the case, that's what I'm going to put my money on. But thank you guys so much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you are new, and I'll catch you guys in my next video, which will be more about Custom Zombies. Stay safe, much love, and farewell. Cheers.